6 years after the original Kingdom Come Deliverance released, we go hands-on with its much anticipated sequel, that so far proves bigger, can mostly be better. You know when a game has sold more than 6 million units and almost single-handedly placed the country in which it was made on the map to the point it's considered a piece of national pride, a sequel is probably on the cards. Expanding upon the story of Henry of Skalitz by introducing new ranged weaponry, a second, much larger region to explore, and even more ways to be meticulously realistic in the medieval period. My 4 hours of recent hands-on time certainly left me intrigued to learn more about how Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 looks to improve on the original. With my demo picking up right from the sequel's very beginning, the good news for returning fans is that Henry begins this follow-up journey as a far more capable and intelligent knight. Picking up almost immediately after where the last game's cliffhanger ending left off, players don't need to start out this sequel by learning to read, fight, or any other of the basic medieval period essentials. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 instead either assumes you've already played the first game or know enough to be dropped in the relative deep end right away, catching you up on previous events via conversations and flashbacks involving Sir Hans Capon and his band of merry men in and around the starting area's camp. Even before this though, a flash forward sequence occurring at the start throws Henry and his fellow soldiers amidst a castle assault, which serves as a great excuse to show off one of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's big new gameplay elements, ranged weapons. Yes, this time around Warhorse Studios has seen fit to expand the player's combat capabilities with the addition of a bow and arrow, crossbow, and early gunpowder weaponry. My objective during this brief hint of future events was to simply keep the invaders outside at bay. In most other games, this would be a case of repeatedly reloading and firing my crossbow as fast as possible. This being Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, however, the reload speed and firing rate has been reduced down to a realistic rate. This gave me the impression while using ranged devices that they aren't intended to be Henry's main means of dealing out death. With loading up each bolt and arrow taking up so much time, it'll almost always be far too easy to get overwhelmed by the enemy. Instead, it's more so a testament to Warhorse Studios' insistence to staying painfully accurate to what fighting in 15th century Bohemia would be like, that popping off a ranged shot feels like a true event, and all the more devastating whenever a projectile misses. Luckily, clashing with melee weapons plays out much the same as before, with swords having 3 different swing directions and a stab to make battling foes up close feel like an advanced version of rock, paper, scissors. Warhorse Studios insisted during my session that other melee weapons, like axes and maces, all handle differently too, but there wasn't a chance to feel this in my demo. Alongside the much touted 5 hours of cutscenes set to appear in the final game, another way Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 intends to go big is by literally going big, because whereas many of the settings Henry got to explore before were limited to farms and quaint rural towns across one interconnected map, the second game introduces a faithful recreation of Kuttenberg, a full-on city consisting of various built-up structures including churches, fight arenas, and of course pubs. It plays in perfect contrast to Bohemia's naturalistic scenery from before, and this rich district quickly became easy to get lost in, both from a visual perspective and in terms of what's available to do there. It was while exploring Kuttenberg that Henry's ability to repeatedly put his foot in his mouth was on full display, as I quickly got swept up in a mission of defending a German swordsmith's honour. Sure, my reputation may have lowered as soon as I halted the quarrel by claiming I had prior relations with the swordsmith's daughter, but it resolved the situation nevertheless without the two of us being ran out of the town completely. This small story branch ultimately culminated in me joining the swordsmith's team and battling the guards in a dueling tournament that kept me invested with its twists and turns the whole time. During this tournament, however, I was instantly reminded of how slow-paced events in the world of Kingdom Come Deliverance can be, because seeing as it wasn't just me competing in the tournament, it wasn't a case of me simply being jumped forward to the sword duels in which I needed to take part in. Rather, I was forced to wait out the rest of the competition, watching NPCs clash at one another until it was eventually my turn to step up. And true, while I was able to sharpen my sword to help kill time, this is just one small instance where Warhorse Studios' commitment to realism can come off as tedious sometimes. A good example by comparison are the various mini-games such as Alchemy that also make their return here, where making an antidote is meticulous and takes time, yet at least here I'm still engaged with it. I also cannot finish this Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 preview without at least mentioning what is an impressive step up in both graphics and performance compared to the original. Gutenberg's multi-layered city streets alone are indicative of the larger scope the studio is shooting for, but such wider breadth is also matched by a much greater attention to detail, as seen by the improved character models, absolutely gorgeous lighting that drenches locations, and just a generally engrossing sense of atmosphere. Warhorse Studios' goal has never been to deliver a medieval simulation, but rather a realistic one-to-one experience, and I'd say this sequel is coming pretty close. The first game at time could make a claim for giving Bethesda jank a run for its money, but my hands-on time here felt relatively bug-free. While at times its insistence to have basic moves and tasks take an incredibly long time can annoy, at least this expectation is built in now. The Witcher 3, this is absolutely not. That said, with a much larger region to explore, new ranged, if slow-loading weapons to try out, and even more stories for Henry of Skalitz to get involved in, I'd say Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is on track to become one of the most immersive action RPGs of the generation. We'll just need to wait until February 11th, 2025 to find that out for sure. Are you liking what you're seeing so far? Are you still excited? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. And consider subscribing to the Mirror Gaming YouTube channel to stay up to date with even more videos like this. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.